Thanks, grace of heaven, virtues of masters, grand predecessors, lectures, and everyone here for giving me this opportunity to learn to speak on today's topic, how to actively participate in Tao cultivation and propagation. Okay, before we learn to how to cultivate and propagate Tao, we need to recognize and be grateful of the Tao's origins. We owe our gratitude to heaven's grace, the advent of the heaven's mandated enlightened holy teachers, which is our patriarch and matriarch, and the pioneer efforts of our predecessors. Okay. Um, so therefore, gratitude is the foundational. Begin our cultivation by sincerely appreciate the divine grace and the lineage of our teachers who made the Tao accessible to us. Reflecting regularly on the sacrifices and teachings that brought the Tao to our life. This deepened our motivations and sincerity in Tao practice. So Tao is not always accessible to us in the old days. It's only in this white era that Tao is accessible to everyone who has affinity with saints and Buddhas. Um, in the old days, one must cultivate first in order, and then if they get in, reach the pretty good high levels, then heaven will send someone to a Dharma master to give blessing to them. Okay, it's only in this period that we can receive Tao first and then cultivate, but we still need to cultivate. In the old days, Huinan, the sixth patriarch Huinan, had to travel about a month to seek the Tao to fifth patriarch. When he reached the Huanmei mountains and he met fifth patriarch Hongnen, Hongnen asked sixth patriarch Huinan that why have you come here and what are you seeking? And Huinan replies that I seek nothing but to become a Buddha. This demonstrates that masters in the old days how sincere they are and with unwavering determinations. Okay, to pursue the Tao. Okay, okay. So and also receiving Tao it signifies that each of us holds the potential to become a Buddha. However, if we do not continue to cultivate ourselves or engage in spiritual practice, how can we expect to transform our temperaments and eliminate bad habits that hinder us from growth? Receiving the Tao is merely the beginning. It opens the door, but it is our ongoing efforts that determines whether we truly walk the path. The bad habits and temperaments that we accumulated over 60,000 years of reincarnation have taken deep root within us. Only through sincere cultivation and dedicated propagation can we gradually peel away these layers one by one and return to our original pure nature. This is why diligent cultivation and propagation are not just encouraged, they are essential. Okay. Cultivation refines our characters, help us overcome ego, anger, and attachments. Propagation allows us to fulfill our sacred vows by guiding others towards the lights of the Tao. In doing so, we walk the path of Bodhisattva, not just seeking our own liberation, but also serving the temple, house of God, and all sentient beings with compassion, wisdom, and humility. Through this journey of giving, learning, and constant reflections, true transformations become possible, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us, for all the sentient beings. So, acknowledge the global spread of the Tao. The Tao has spread from China to 5 continents in just over 60 years. Okay, the Tao is not limited by geography, race, or language. It is universal. Okay. We can make a positive impact by sharing Tao principles such as virtue, benevolence, compassion, equanimity, humility with people in our life, regardless of cultural background. Okay. Understand that path is open to all. Heaven has opened a path for all, as long as one is willing to cultivate and propagate the Tao. The path is to our true nature and ultimate liberation. This path is not limited by status, backgrounds, or past mistakes, as long as one is willing to cultivate sincerely and propagate the Tao with a sincere, genuine heart. Anyone can walk this path. It is through this commitment to self-refinement and compassion's guidance of others that we align ourselves with heaven's will and fulfill our divine potential, divine nature. Okay. Everyone has the potential to cultivate the Tao. Therefore, there's no exclusivity. We don't we don't need to be perfect. We only need to be willing and consistent. Start where we are with a intention to improve ourselves and benefit others. Okay. Practice Tao cultivation in our daily life. There are 2 parts: self cultivations and disciplines and routines. Okay. Self cultivation is the foundation of our spiritual growth. The true cultivation begins from within. Okay. It is a lifelong journey of refining our thoughts, speech, behavior to align with Tao. This inner work includes um, reflecting our thoughts and actions, self-awareness. Okay, we must constantly observe our own mind, our intentions, actions, and impulses. Through the reflections, we begin to recognize the roots of our attachments, fear, and habits. This awareness is the first step towards transformation. Maintaining harmony in relationships. Cultivation is not practiced in isolations. How we treat others, families, friends, strangers is a direct reflection of our spiritual maturity. Okay, practicing patience, actively listening, and forgiveness help us maintain peace and reduce conflicts. Being humble, sincere, and kind. Okay, humility allows us to keep learning. Sincerity grounds us in truth. Kindness connects us with all beings. Okay, these virtues are not just ideal; they are daily practice that gradually purify the hearts and uplift those around us. Avoid excessive desires, angers, and pride. Okay. These are the 3 major obstacles on the path of Tao cultivation. Okay. Desires cloud our judgments, anger distorts our peace, pride blocks us from seeing our flaws. By recognizing and letting go of these tendencies, we move closer to our original pure nature. Okay. And then disciplines, okay, and routines. We walking the path daily without consistency. Even the greatest intention fade. Okay, disciplines ground our cultivation in real life actions and keep us from being swayed by distractions. Therefore, we should practice daily um, introspections. Each day, take times, morning, night, or afternoons, to reflect on our thoughts, words, and actions. Ask ourselves, was I aligned with the Tao today? Did I act with the compassion and clarity? This practice builds awareness and awareness. Study Tao texts and teachings regularly. Okay, spiritual teachings are a compass. By reading and contemplating sacred texts or listening to the guidance of the enlightened teachers, we deepen our understanding and stay aligned with correct principles. Okay. Engage in community service or help others spiritually. Path of Bodhisattva call us not only to better ourselves, but also to serve others, whether through temple duties, spiritual guidance, or act of kindness. Helping others reinforce our vow and accumulate merits. Engage in propagation spreads the Tao. So sharing the Tao with and invite others to learn when when it's appropriate. Okay. Live as a good examples. People are inspired more by actions than by words. Okay. The sage do not preach. They live in harmony with the way. In walking the Tao with sincerity and simplicity, our life becomes the teachings. Our others awaken through observation, not instruction. Offer offer our support to Tao Temple teachings and gatherings, even through simple acts such as helping with organization, um, providing translations, or sharing informations online. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps preserve the wisdom of Tao and makes it more accessible to others on their path. Okay, the goal is for every household to have a cultivator. Okay, this vision is simple yet profound. That every household may have at least one person walking the path. Why? Because where there is a cultivator, there is a light, harmony, spiritual guidance. A cultivator brings not only blessings to themselves, but also uplift their family, community, and the world. Okay. Therefore, encourage family members to practice together. Create a home environment that values the spiritual growth and teach children's virtue like respect, gratitude, and mindfulness from an early age. Okay. If every home where there is a person that sincerely cultivates the Tao, there is a greater peace and understanding in the family relationship. Moral value and virtue conducts are upheld and passed down to the future generations. The energy of the home become calmer, more compassionate, and spiritual aligned. Just as a single lamp can illuminate a dark room, one cultivator in a household can guide others towards kindness, wisdom, and self-awareness. This present, their present words and example become a quiet yet powerful influence their on those around them. So the goal is not about converting others, but about inspiring through actions and characters. When one family members cultivate with sincerity, others will naturally be moved. Over time, entire family community can transform. Imagine a society where every home hosts someone who strives to be humble, patient, and compassionate, someone who seeks truth, serve others, and live with purpose. Such a world began with um, this one goal: a cultivator in every household. Okay. Um, Leading to a great commonwealth where myriad family become Buddha. The ultimate aim is a harmonious world where everyone can awaken to their true nature every effort we make, no matter how small, contribute to this great vision. Okay. Here's a Holy Teacher's merciful words for a ground vision. One must have a magnanimity of the oceans, the warmth of the springs, the benevolent compassion, joy, and equanimity. In all circumstances, we must firmly recognize the Tao lineage, uphold the Tao heart, adhere its principles, and maintain the Tao intention and traditions. We must not lose our original source or stray into heterodox path. We should also not compromise our integrity for wealth or fame. In this wide era, we are called to unite in fulfilling and enduring sacred missions, to preserve and transmit the virtues of a grand patriarch, the patriarch and the matriarch, ensuring their legacy continue to guide and inspire future generations. Okay, active engagement is a concrete practice for eliminating karma and fulfilling vow. Okay. We all have a karma as long as we have this body. Okay. The consequence of our past thoughts, words, actions, both good or bad, cannot be escaped. This is a time of great karmic reckoning. Okay, where the debt of many lifetimes must be repaid, and the seed that we sow throughout the countless incarnation come to bear fruits. So, the present times is the final kalpas where karma accumulated over 60,000 years will be reckoned. Um, Karma from such a vast and numerous life is deeply rooted. Okay, it cannot be removed through our original means. Only through the sincere self-cultivation, propagation of the Tao, and the performance of true meritorious deeds can this karma burden be purified. Okay, it's through these efforts that we accumulate the spiritual merits necessary to offset our past wrongdoings, okay, transform our destiny, and ascend beyond the endless cycle of birth and death. Okay. Karma from countless lives can only be eliminated by cultivating and propagating Tao, performing meritorious deeds, and accumulate sufficient merits. Fortunately, we see the great Tao and have many opportunities to perform meritorious deeds and fulfill our vows. Now, so more than ever, so we should seize the opportunity to before us to cultivate our hearts, refine our characters, and uproot our attachments. Okay, to propagate the Tao, help others return to their true origins. To perform selfless meritorious deeds is to benefit all sentient beings. By doing so, we not only dissolve lifetimes of karmic debts, but also fulfill our sacred mission entrusted to us by heaven. Let us cherish this final kalpas, not as a kind of fear, but as rare of and precious chance to transcend, transform, and return to divine nature, our divine nature. Active engagement of is a concrete practice for also for fulfilling our vows. Receiving the Tao in this life is the result of the good roots and vow that we made from countless eons. Okay. To receive the Tao lifetime is not an accident. It's a result of the deep spiritual roots and solemn vow that we made across the countless eons through lifetime of seeking, serving, and spiritual preparations. We will finally encounter this rare precious opportunity to receive the Tao. Okay, among the vast ocean of sentient beings, only a few are able to receive the Tao. This alone is the evidence of the deep affinity and karmic blessing that we carry. But receiving the Tao is not the end; it's the beginning of our sacred mission, entrusted to us by heaven. We meant to assist the patriarchs and matriarchs in saving the three realms. The three realms are temporary heavens, human realms, and underworlds, and transforming the mundane world into the lotus pure land. As a disciple of the White Era, the final period of salvation, we carry the special responsibility. We are the one that who must uphold the teachings, propagate the truth, and embody the Tao in our daily life. We are heaven's hands and eyes in the world. Let us never forget that vow that we made before we descend into the world. Vow to awaken, to serve, to lead others back to their true home. So, as a disciple of White Era, we must never forget our vows and missions. They're saying that if a vow are not fulfilled, it's difficult to return home. This reminds us that returning to the eternal home, our spiritual origins, is not guaranteed by simply receiving the Tao. It requires action, devotion, and fulfillment of our spiritual mission. Now is the time to awaken the ancient vow within us, to cultivate diligently, propagate wholeheartedly, serve selflessly, and walk the path of Bodhisattva in the world. In doing so, we not only repay the grace of heaven and our spiritual ancestors, but also ensure that we can truly return home, free, pure, and fulfilled. Okay. Practice the Bodhisattva spirit's self-awakening and awakening others. The final Kappa has arrived and it's time for the original Buddhas to return. The universal salvation cannot be achieved through the Arhat or Prayaka Buddha path, 必知佛道. Okay. It requires a very vigorous practice of Bodhisattva's path. Serving sentient beings and delving into the society are the concrete ways to practice Bodhisattva's spirit of self-awakening and awakening others. So the arhats means that it's the highest level of the sun wind, awakening by listening Buddha's teaching and practice Four Noble Truths, primarily focused on personal liberation, not others, not universal teaching. Okay. Prayaka Buddha's path, 必知佛道, the path of the solitary Buddha, one who awakened by the contemplating dependent origination, the 12 link of causation. Cultivation, both blessings and wisdom. Okay. In Tao traditions, blessing refers to the positive conditions and merits accumulated through the good deeds, selfless service, and filial piety in helping others. These blessings manifest in one's life as harmonious family, good health, supported relationships, abundant resource to support cultivations, opportunity to serve and spread the Tao. But blessings is not accidents. They are the result of the virtuous contact and faithful action aligned with the heaven's principle. So, through active participations, we can borrow the force to cultivate the truth and understand the principles to the affairs. So we must know that this body is false. Everything in this world is just illusion because it's not permanent. But we still need to cultivate using this body and deal with our everyday life, but yet not get lost in our in this mundane world. That's called borrow the false to cultivate the truth. Okay. This led to the elevations of our minds, the perfections of our characters, and increase our wisdom. Today's cultivation involves entering the world to practice, leading to a happy and harmonious family life. This is a true blessing on earth. Okay. Um, so cultivate what is the wisdom? Wisdom refers to profound inner understanding, insights into truth, impermanence, and the working of karma and the nature of the Tao. Wisdom is cultivated by studying the teaching of the Tao and practicing self-reflections and try to be here now, guys. Okay. Letting go of ego desires and attachments, seeing beyond appearance to underlying truth, seeing beyond the forms. Okay. Wisdom allow one to walk the right path and with clarity, make ethical decisions, and lead others with compassion. Why we need both blessing and wisdom. So blessing without wisdom may lead material comfort, but one might become attached, prideful, or misuse of fortunes. Wisdom without blessings may bring deep insights, but without the support of resource, health, and opportunity, it's hard to sustain the path or benefit others. The the true spiritual fulfillment comes from the balance of both, using the wisdom to guide our actions and using the blessing to serve the world. Okay, so to cultivate and propagate the Tao, we also need to practice the four immeasurable mind, loving kindness, compassion, joy, equanimity to all sentient beings without limits. They are the foundation for practice the Bodhisattva path. Okay, here's a little note. Cultivation is about self-corrections, not about fixing or teaching other a lesson. Let's go into the detail of the four immeasurable mind. Loving kindness is the sincere wish for all sentient beings to be happy, safe, and well. It is the active cultivation of goodwill toward others without expectation of reward. We should have a mindset of may all beings be free from sufferings and may they find peace and joy. Okay, the nature is pure goodwill, kindness, benevolent without discrimination. Okay, practice is the radiate our thoughts. Okay, may all sentient beings be happy, safe, and live with ease. Okay, this overcomes hatred, anger, and hostility. The four immeasurable mind of compassion is deep wish to relieve the suffering of others. It arises naturally when we see others in pain and feel moved to help. The true compassion is not pity, but to profound empathy is a profound empathy that motivates actions. Okay. So the nature is that the heart that cannot bear the pain of others and aspires to release it. Therefore, we should practice, contemplate, may all sentient beings be free of sufferings and may they be protected. This overcomes cruelty, indifference, and neglect. The four immeasurable minds, the joy is the ability to genuinely rejoice in happiness, success, and virtue of others. Okay. Rather than feeling envy or jealous, a Bodhisattva celebrates the blessing of all sentient beings, knowing that we are all interconnected. Okay. The nature of it, free from envy, jealousy, um, competitiveness, rejoicing in others' good fortune. So we should practice that how wonderful others are experiencing joy and success. May their happiness increase. And this overcomes envy and resentment. And last but least, equanimity is another four immeasurable mind, is the steady, balanced mind that remain calm and unshaken amidst uh, praise or blame, gain or loss, pleasure or pain. Equanimity treats all sentient beings equally without attachment or aversion. Serenity, serene impartiality of the mind, okay, is the wisdom of seeing all experience as part of the greater path. Okay, deep understanding of karma and impermanence of life, seeing all sentient beings equal without bias. The practice it should be all sentient beings have karma. I regard them as with a equal heart. This overcomes clinging favoritism with prejudice and aversion. Therefore, to walk the Bodhisattva path means to dedicate one's life to benefiting others while steadily cultivate awakening within oneself. The four immeasurable mind are the inner compass of this path. Without them, cultivation becomes rigid and self-centered. With them, our practice is infused with compassion, wisdom, and boundless love. In our daily life, practice the four immeasurable minds, such as offering a kind words to someone in distress, forgiving someone who has wronged us, rejoice in friends' success without envy, remain calm and centered in face of difficulty. As we nurture these boundless qualities, we gradually dissolve the boundaries between self and others. We begin to see all beings as part of one great family, and to serve them is to serve the Tao itself. Okay. Cling firmly to the mandate of heaven. Okay. The heaven's mandate of the patriarchs and matriarch is the golden thread for us to return to our original home. Okay. We must cherish heaven's grace and our teachers' virtues, uphold the legacies of our predecessors, and protect the Dharma life. Pioneer and spreading the Tao is the foremost merit. We must spread the sacred virtues to all nations, widely saving the destined ones. We should take heaven's heart as our own and teachers' aspiration as our own. Um, to transcend self-desires and cultivate a heart that embraces all, to embrace heaven's virtues and sincerity, benevolence, uh, justice, harmony, and compassion, to shoulder the responsibilities of our holy teacher by spreading the Tao, to save all sentient beings, and to preserving the Tao in preserving the Tao cultivation. how actively engaged Tao in cultivation and propagation, being the myriad incarnation of patriarch and matriarch. Engage in Tao affairs, learn do service. Okay. Um, so as a disciple of the white era, we are not or ordinary people. Okay, we are the myriad incarnations of patriarch and matriarch. Continue their sacred mission in the mundane world, and we are heaven's vessel, entrusted with a responsibility to ferry sentient beings, uphold the Tao, and guide others back to their original nature. Okay, this is not only merely symbolic. Okay, it is called to take actions. Okay? To truly embody this role, we must go beyond belief and step into active participation. Okay? So engage in Tao affairs, learn through service. By actively participating in Tao affairs, we gain practical experience in learning how to ferry others, not just through words, but through compassion, action, example. Whether it's temple duties, organizing events, or helping guide new seekers, each act of service train us in the Bodhisattva spirit and sharpen our wisdom. Service is not just about helping others; it's a mirror that reflects our own cultivation. In serving, we also transform ourselves. Okay. Dharma class, grand gathering of wisdom and merits. Okay. Dharma class is not just ceremony, it's a spiritual gathering of heaven and man. These grand gatherings are the powerful opportunity to eliminate karmic obstacles through the sincere participation and repentance. Absorb wisdoms from the teaching of the Tao, strengthen our vow, and deepen our understanding. By sincerely contribute to all aspects of Dharma class, whether through setup, ushering, cooking, cleaning, or supporting fellow participants, we perform meritorious deeds that carries immense spiritual values. Each small act done with a sincerity is recorded in the unseen realm. Okay? And 5-year cultivation class, the cradle of talents and understanding. Um, so 5 years is not merely just academics; they are classes that are the key to deepen our understanding of the Tao, okay, of heaven's mandate, of the principle of the Tao, and how to apply cultivation in our daily life. Without this firm foundation, our path become unstable. Cultivation cannot rely solemnly on emotions and inspiration. It must be rooted in learning, reflection, and disciplines. The 5-year class connect our directly to wisdom of the saints and sage, and prepare us to walk the path of Bodhisattva. Okay, conviction and capability. Okay. Um, be the myriad of incarnation of patriarchs and matriarchs continue. Establishing a temple, okay, build a bridge to the divine. To set up a temple is not merely a construction or a physical space. It is a building a spiritual bridge that connects sentient beings back to their true origin. Okay. The vast and chaotic ocean of the final Kalpa, temples served as the Dharma vessels, okay, guiding the lost and weary back to the eternal source of enlightenment. A temple is more than a brick, okay, just a space, or more than a space, okay. It's a sacred refuge where the Tao is taught, spirits is nurtured, and the vow is rekindled. It is where the heaven and earth meets, where the energy of compassion, wisdom, and disciplines converge to transform life. In the mission of the great universal salvation, temple are the essential outposts of the divine plan. Without temple, the Tao has no place to anchor. Without Dharma center, sentient beings have no lighthouse to guide them through the storm of karma, desire, and confusion. Play the role of temple host and lecturer. A temple host acts as a helmsman or of a Dharma vessel, while a lecturer is the Bodhisattva on earth, propagating the Dharma and benefiting sentient beings. So a temple host is like a guards the altar, ensuring um, the space of the temple, lead the community, offering the moral guidance and supports, foster harmony, maintain unity and collaborations among the cultivators, and most importantly, help ferry sentient beings towards salvation through the transmission of Tao. This role requires humility, dedications, and deep virtue. The temple host walks in the footsteps of saints not for personal glory, but to fulfill heaven's will. Lectures, is the voice of the Tao, the one who carries the sacred teaching in the hearts and minds of people. A true lecturer is not merely skilled in speech, but grounded in personal cultivation, compassion, and wisdom. A lecturer is a bodhisattva in action who uses the words to awaken others, a bridge to understanding, translating profound truth into everyday language. To take up in this road is to walk the path of the sage, not to be heard, but to serve, not to be praised, but to transform lives. Lectures means to eliminate the path of those who still in the darkness. Okay. Therefore, together with temple hosts and lectures from the it's a pillar of the white era. Okay. One provides a structure, one steal the vessel, and one spread the lights. By establishing the temple and stepping into these sacred roles, we are not just preserving traditions, we are co-creating the lotus pure land on earth. We are honoring the vows with one made before heaven, and help fulfill the divine blueprints for the salvation of all beings, all sentient beings. Okay, so in summary, Holy Teacher, merciful words. It is easy to perform meritorious deeds when there are affairs. It's difficult to perform meritorious deeds when there is no affairs. In the white era cultivation, what is value is practical action. The true great Tao do not descend at just any time, nor is transmitted to just anyone. Our predecessors sacrificed themselves to propagate the Tao, creating this rich and complete Tao field, providing us with opportunities to perform meritorious deeds and fulfill our vows everywhere. Our disciples of living Jigong Buddha, we should inherit the Master's aspiration, carry on the Master's virtues, and emulate the spirits of our predecessors in opening up new territories and elucidating the Tao, helping our holy teacher managing the final stage and great path of the universal salvation of the three realms. In summary, the Buddha Dharma is in the world, and awakening is not separated from the world. Okay. Although the white era cultivators are in the defiled mundane world, we should learn the 5 virtues of the lotus emerging from the mud unstained: purity, elegance, fragrance, whiteness, and perseverance, demonstrating the conduct and um, demeanors of two noble persons. That's from the Platform Sutra. Um, the Buddha Dharma is in the world, and awakening is not separated from the world. The Buddha once said that this profound teaching reminds us that in, enlightenment is not found by escaping reality, escaping this mundane world, but by transforming ourselves within it. The path to awaken does not lie in isolation, but in the hearts of daily life, in our thoughts, speech, actions, and we engage as we engage with others and the world around us. So, as white era cultivators, we are called to walk the path of Bodhisattva within the defiled and chaotic world, not apart from it. We live among worldly disastrations, attachments, and karmic entanglements, but our task is to rise above them with clarity, strength, and compassion. Okay, in summary, to actively participate in Tao cultivation and propagation, we need to be grateful and understand the Tao's sacred lineage. Cultivate ourselves through introspection, virtue, and humility. Help others, help ourselves and others find the Tao through our actions and examples. Okay, not by words only. Work with our families and community to build a Tao-centered life. Keep a vision alive and a world of peace, awakening, and unity. This will conclude my class for tonight. If I have said anything wrong, I ask Saints and Buddhas for forgiveness, and transmitters, lecturers, and everyone else for corrections. I would like to dedicate this class to all sentient beings who are suffering, and hope this class will give them a little piece of liberation. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice night.